Alright, welcome to the upgrade tutorial for Pipedream recurring tasks. So, as you probably know, if you're, a long-time customer, we have a automated recurring task solution for Notion, which basically adds this very important functionality to Notion, because Notion still doesn't really handle recurring tasks very well by default. And we've been doing this with an external automation for quite a while. First, it was with make.com, but a few months ago, we switched to Pipedream, which is a very, very cool automation platform that basically gives us superpowers. It's really good. Tom has a lot of videos on why he prefers Pipedream, but I think everyone can agree that it's more powerful, more flexible, and it's also easier to set up from your perspective. So it's a win-win for everyone. And also it has a very generous free plan. So we can do a lot of these automations and there's no need to pay for Pipedream. So if you're completely fresh to this, you don't need to watch this video actually. Go to, I'll link the guide on screen. Go to this guide and here you'll find all the steps on how to set up a new workflow. And just basically need to press this button. Importantly, if you're an existing Ultimate Brain customer, so if you bought Ultimate Brain before October 20th, 2023, before you set this up, you'll need to follow our Formulas 2.0 upgrades. So you can find a post in the Support Ultimate Brain space on Circle, and also you can find this in the changelog here. You'll need to perform manual upgrades for Formulas 2.0. There's a video on that there, and it's broken down step by step. You'll need to do these upgrades first before setting up a new Pipedream workflow for automated recurring tasks. So if you're completely fresh, go do these Formulas 2.0 upgrades and then come back to this post and then just click on this big button and it'll guide you through setting up this workflow. And also here we have an updated tutorial video on how to set up a fresh workflow. If you're an existing customer, well, hang tight, I'll show you how to do this. And we basically have two different diverging strategies we can do here, and I'll tell you which one I recommend, but there are two and you can choose whichever one you want. So the first way that we would actually recommend to do this is delete your old workflow for recurring tasks and set up a completely new one using this link. Why? Well, basically Pipedream gave us some superpowers where if you set up a new workflow using this updated link, we will be able to ship upgrades to this workflow over the air in the future. So if you redo this workflow now, if you set it up once again, in the future, once we have, bug fixes or feature additions to this workflow, you'll just get a little update in Pipedream. Hey, there's a new version of this workflow and you'll need to click one button and it'll update automatically. So you won't need to go through this process once again. So that's why I recommend doing it this way and setting up a completely new workflow. But if for some whatever reason you don't want to do this, well, you can just follow the steps here and just copy and paste the code into your Pipedream workflow. So if you want to set up this from scratch, go to the guide, and in there you'll have all the steps on how to do it. If you don't want to do it from scratch and you want to use your existing workflow, I'll show you how to do it now. But please keep in mind that you'll need to do these manual updates every time we ship a bug fix or any sort of features into this workflow. So I heavily recommend going route one. But if you want to do the other way, it's still an option. So if you have it already set up, well, we just want to go to our workflow here. And again, importantly, make sure you've done the Formulas 2.0 upgrades because things will break down if you didn't do that. We just want to go to edit the workflow. It's going to open the editor. We don't need these. We just want to go to the code section here. And so we just basically want to replace this code with our new code. So in the support section on Circle and on in the changelog as well, you can navigate to this page here, and here we just have the plain code, and all you gotta do is copy this code and then delete this old code and paste in the new one. That's pretty straightforward, right? Now let's run a test. So this will prompt to reselect all of these properties. So basically make sure that your all task database is still connected correctly. If you're ever unsure, it does display the database ID here, and you can always double check that by just copying the link for your database, just previewing it somewhere and making sure that this ID matches. In my case it does, because the ending is the same. And I would just want to make sure that these properties are selected correctly. So just make sure that done is done, type is type, next view API is next view API, all of that. And then we should do a test, and let's hope it all works nicely. Yep, and then we can just go deploy and it's gonna work fine. But then again, please keep in mind that you're not gonna get over the air upgrades if you do it this way. So yeah, go watch the other tutorial if you want to have over the air upgrades. All right, if you have any questions about this, if you see any bugs, if you have any errors, please of course leave a comment in Circle. Also, please do keep in mind that this recurring tasks automation is the only automation that we can provide full support for, because, well, it's part of Ultimate Brain, so it's part of our product, and we're happy to, support it to the fullest extent possible. But all of our other automations, Notion voice tasks, Notion voice notes, these are free products, so we cannot kind of have the same level of support. So it's best if you, if you're using these automations, if you go to the relevant guides. There's a troubleshooting section in both of these, and there are common errors and everything. And there's also a link to a GitHub issues where you can report issues, and Tom will look at them and hopefully fix them in the future. But no full support for the other two. This one is the only one we have full support for. All right, have a good one.